So one of the things I'm trying to do in my books now is I'm trying to come out with themes for each one. So, for example, I have one that came out. It's a villain book. It takes place in this fantasy world that I'm writing. And it's taking place on the side of the main story. Anyway, the villain books are really nice because I'm taking a theme and going with it for each one. So the first one's already been published. It's called Genesis of Chaos. It's on Amazon.
That's your first book?
First of the villain books.
Villain books, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My actual first book is called Slaves of Swords.
Okay.
And then the next one after that is Surge of Shadows. And I've kind of taken this sort of a turn to the side here a little bit from that main series, and I've been writing some villain books. Happens in the same world.
Okay.
And these villains are going to show up now in the next book of my main series, book 3.
Okay.
So I thought I would take, a little sidetrack, write about some of these villains and how they became who they became.
Origin stories? Yeah.
Yeah. So when you say villain books, my first thought is this book is solely focused on that villain, right? It's all about them the whole time. The main story, main character, and all their evil deeds and everything, right?
Yes, in a way. So what I'm showing the reader is how these villains were just normal people, but they went through circumstances that made them make decisions, maybe not the best ones, but it helps you understand where they're coming from.
Okay.
I
like that.
So the first one is already out. Again, that's Genesis of Chaos. And that one, I put in the theme of the importance of fathers.
Ooh.
Exactly.
I love that, Joel. I love that. That stands true in reality.
So let me read a statistic for you. This may be shocking. It shocked me. This is from the National Fatherhood Initiative website. And it says 18.4 million children, that's 1 in 4, are without a biological step or adoptive father at home in the United States. So 18.4 million children without that influence in their home.
Oh my God, I thought that was going to be a world statistic. I know.
That's just the U.S.?
That's just the U.S. And that was from the 2022 census. So...
God, and having a father in the home is so important.
Yes.
I mean, my goodness, dude. They if you look at studies, like you brought that one up, I've read articles where it even says there's the huge breakdown in society and criminals and all these things that are happening. It starts at home, and it's typically in a home that doesn't have a father. Mm-hmm. There's no lead.
Right. And I'm not trying to put down moms. Moms out there, you are amazing. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely.
Done. Yeah. But it just, in general, it makes it stronger, and it's better for the kids in general. Yeah. I mean, you have the exception of my wife. Her dad had left, and her mom did a great job of raising her. Her mom became mom and dad.
Yeah.
And she came out wonderful.
Solid point. Your wife is a sweetheart. Yeah. She's an amazing woman, dude. All 4'10" of her, whatever tall she is.
Yes. I love you, sweetie. But
fireball, dude. Little fireball.
But anyway, for that first book, I chose that theme just for that reason.
That's really cool.
I saw that statistic, and it just blew my mind.
Wow. So, okay. So these 3 books you're talking about, what are they called again? Is it it's a trilogy?
Ooh, it's hard because I'm not even sure if it's really a trilogy because I call it the main series.
Okay.
I wrote the first 2 books for that one.
Okay.
And then I've taken a sidetrack to write 2 villain books.
Right.
The first one's out already, and the second one right now is being published. And this one was a little hard for me to write because this theme for that book is about abuse.
Oh, my goodness.
And that, for me, is a very touchy subject because I know for a lot of people, most people want to hide that.
Yeah.
And they don't disclose that to just anyone.
Yeah. It's a tough one.
It's very sensitive. So in that book now that's about to come out, I wrote on certain things, and it was not easy to write about. I even kind of got teary-eyed writing on some of my characters about putting them through these things. But, my hope is that someone who reads this will be able to find that common ground with the character. Like, man, yeah, I've been there. I know what this is like. This is painful. This hurts.
So you're writing these books so people have a connection to a theme that you're throwing in there.
Yes.
The hard-hitting things that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. And they can see that characters are going through the same thing and can still be triumphant, right?
Yes. So what's going to happen now is toward the end of this whole book series with the villains and in the main series, all that, all those villains will have a chance to turn and do the right thing.
Wow. So they always have an opportunity to change.
Yes,
Now, but it's like free will. It's their choice.
it is. It is.
I feel a lot of biblical references here, man.
Exactly.
I like that. So this world that you made up, so people understand, you had to create this own world, this fantasy world, right? And build the characters and what's happening. How do you keep track of all of that?
Oh my goodness. Lots of journals.
A lot of writing, dude.
Lots of journals. I even find myself going back to my own books and opening up and reading the chapters to make sure I'm not missing any details, because there's so much going on.
So you don't have a ghostwriter, nothing. You are solely writing everything.
Yes. Yes.
Dude,
It's my
that's-
brother, people. What's up?
I was gonna say, like, that's awesome. So do you like? So would you say, like, something happens during the day, the idea pops up, like, let's say for a character or an idea or a location, you kind of do like a quick synopsis bio on whatever you're thinking, like, and so you can write it back later type thing. So do you kind of extensively go into backstories with a lot of the characters before coming up with the theme of the book?
That's a good question. So it kind of depends on where I'm at in the writing. Sometimes I like to reveal those kind of details later. Sometimes I like to reveal them right away. It all just kind of depends on what I want to do with that character, Wow. So for me, what's fun is pulling in people that I know. So, for example, two of the main characters are two elf brothers, and that happens to be characterized after myself and my brother Luke that had passed away.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Whoa.
So
man.
the way that those two characters interact with each other and kind of talk, it very much resembles the kind of way that Luke and I would talk to each other, the teasing and other stuff like that. And,
So you drew a lot of inspiration just from our life.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
You got a mind, my friend.
So I'm working on your character. Your character's
Oh, God.
too.
Is he gonna be in the villain book?
Yeah.
Just kidding, dude. I'm kidding. No, I like that. He's a villain. Yeah, I can see that.
So is Joel?
No, but you.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah. What I love about building a villain book is that it takes a lot for a villain, it takes very little for a villain to be a villain. One thing can happen to them, and then they just trickle down this terrible path. And I mean, you guys probably know this, but heroes don't become heroes without villains. So villains have to start first, because they, it's like, oh my God, my life sucks, and what am I going to do? And then I just, kind of go down the spiral of just terrible stuff, just constantly, right? Nihilism. My life sucks, and I just want to, hurt everyone. Yeah. And then the hero has to resurrect from that. So I love that you started with the villain, because then you can maybe squeeze in something else. It's almost like you build the base with the origin story of the villain, so that the hero can come in and save the day, or the villain can just change and be a better person.
That's right.
That's dope, man. Yeah,
that's right. That's all going to take place.
There you go.
That's all going to take place.
Yeah, comics are dope. Yeah.
And that's so cool, because like I feel like all the best, like I'm really like, I like the Marvel DC stuff. I mean, I did, like, I was into comics